Hello, in this last segment, I want to explore the world of food. And as a tea sommelier, this has been always one of the most exciting areas, and really pairing food with tea. Because most of the time nowadays, when you go to a restaurant, you get the tea served with dessert, and it becomes like more of an afterthought. And there's so many other options how tea can either be used as an ingredient, how it can be used together with the main course, or even with an appetizer. So there's so many different opportunities. And for this project, I want to focus on two different areas which I find really fascinating in terms of combining tea and food. Which is one is the area of cheese, and one is the area of chocolate. And in the studies with the Fine Water Academy, I really learned that there's so much options in terms of contrasting and in terms of pairing waters with cheese or waters with chocolate. It has been a tremendous journey, and I want to demonstrate that here, like how these elements can really work well together. And even the three elements, I think there are interesting opportunities to pair tea with cheese as well as with water. So for this particular segment, I've selected three teas, which you also saw in the world of hot teas, which I brewed in Acqua Morelli. And they are the white tea, the sacred white tea. There's the first flush Darjeeling from Zoom Estate, and there's the super rare Oolong, the big red rope, Da Hong Pao from China. And I really want to demonstrate here how well they actually pair with cheese. And for the waters, I would like to for this segment select Badois water. So I have Badois right here. Badois with a mineral content, TDS of 1,100. And in the studies with the Fine Water Academy, I always found this in some of the assignments. I find this a very good pairing with soft cheeses. And as a contrast, I would like to use a super low minerality water, a Voss water, which I have here. And which gives a good contrast to the soft cheeses. For cheeses, I have a number of different varieties. On soft cheese, I have the mozzarella cheese here. And for me, it's always fascinating to combine the cheese with the tea, because by itself they're two different ingredients, but if you combine them, they give you a completely different experience. So if I combine them with the white tea, you can see how the texture of the cheese breaks down, but creates like a creaminess to it. And the white tea is relatively delicate in the texture, so you really start seeing the mozzarella cheese still coming through. And as another example, I would like to use the Camembert cheese with the Darjeeling. And the plum flavor of the Darjeeling and the soft cheese texture of the Camembert are really blending well together, and it creates a whole new, very interesting experience. And for the Oolong, I would like to pair it with a mild cheddar cheese. And it's really fascinating when you have the earthiness, the woodiness of the Oolong with the sharpness of the cheddar, and it creates a very interesting experience. And that can be combined with also with the fine water. So if I take the Badois and I take the Camembert, it creates a great experience. It really, like, you can see the texture, the flavor of the cheese coming out, but the water and the small bubbles of the butter really complement it and really have this interaction, almost this play on the palate. It's a wonderful experience. And then if you combine it then with the warmth of the tea and the creaminess it creates, then I think in itself you have a wonderful experience. And if I take the Voss and the mozzarella cheese, Also, you have very interesting interplay between the texture of the mozzarella, but the cheese stays in the foreground, but the water really supports and interacts with the cheese flavor. So that's the example of the cheese and the tea and the water. What I found really, and this was really probably one of my favorites within the entire project, is the interaction of chocolate and water, and the contrast you can really achieve with that. And actually, for that one, I'm trying to. I have the Voss water and the chocolate. It really creates a very interesting combination, like the fresh taste of the Voss with the chocolate. And we had actually, I looked at the number of different low minerality and super low minerality waters, and on some of them it doesn't really come out. There's no really interaction between the chocolate and the water, but for Voss it really creates a interesting contrast, and you really have a unique experience. Really enhances the experience. And also, if I take, for instance, the chocolate and the white tea, it's also the warmth and the chocolate start creating this bond, and you really start to have the chocolate flavor and the delicacy of the white tea really coming together and creating a whole new experience. Like even if you would have these two items together. The one thing I want to try. For me, that was the most fascinating is I have this here, one of my favorite waters, which is Vichy. And I found that fascinating to pairing Vichy with chocolate because it's really a unique experience because the saltiness of the Vichy and the chocolate really interact together. And what goes really well is in the tea world, just to contrast that, is the oolong with the chocolate, because the woodiness and the earthiness of the oolong and the chocolate go very well together. And the same you have with the Darjeeling. Like in Germany, it's very popular. It's a popular tea for desserts. And if you combine the dark chocolate with the Darjeeling, you also have this wonderful combination, this wonderful flavor. And again, I think it would really enhance the experience when you have these food and water and tea pairings, then to highlight the origin of the water in which the tea was brewed. So if I say that this first flush 2016 Darjeeling was brewed in Aqua Morelli, I think it really has a great sound to it, and it really creates a lot of opportunities for conversation with the customers, really understanding, okay, what is the impact of that water on that tea, and what are different waters with different mineralities which can then interact between the water, the food, and the tea. So I think quite fascinating. These are just two examples of, I think, many different avenues this can take, and I hope to explore this in the future. Thank you very much.
Cool.